The Rocky Mountains stand tall, towering pines blanket the slopes. A wild river carves its path through the valleys. This is the domain of the grizzly, a land of rugged beauty and unforgiving nature. Here life persists against the odds. The air is crisp and clean. Sunlight filters through the canopy, casting dappled shadows on the forest floor. The scent of pine needles and damp earth fills the air. The sound of the rushing river echoes through the valley. A mother grizzly, massive and powerful, emerges from the trees. Her thick fur is the color of burnished copper. Her claws, long and sharp, leave deep marks in the soft earth. She is followed by 2 cubs, small and playful, their energy boundless. This is their home, a place of both wonder and danger, a place where survival is a daily battle. Deep within the den, a world away from the biting wind and snow, new life stirs. The mother grizzly, heavy with exhaustion, had given birth during the long winter. 2 tiny cubs, blind and helpless, nuzzled against her warmth. They instinctively sought nourishment. Their small whimpers were the sweetest music to her ears. Weeks turned into months. The cubs grew stronger, their eyes opening to reveal a world of wonder. They tumbled and played in the close confines of the den. Their playful nips did little to penetrate their mother's thick fur. The mother grizzly, her reserves depleted, watched her cubs with fierce love. They were her everything, her purpose. The den, once a sanctuary, began to feel small. The cubs, full of energy, yearned to explore the world beyond. The mother knew it was time to face the spring, time to teach her cubs the ways of the wild. The world outside the den was vast and intimidating. The cubs, venturing out for the first time, clung to their mother's side. Every sound, every scent was a new sensation. They watched their mother, their protector, their guide. The mother grizzly was constantly on alert. Her keen senses scanned for danger. A lone wolf howled in the distance, a chilling reminder of the ever-present threats. The mother grizzly lowered her head, her teeth bared in a silent snarl. She would defend her cubs with her life. One afternoon, while foraging for berries, a pungent smell drifted through the air. A male grizzly, large and aggressive, was encroaching on their territory. These encounters were always tense, often deadly. A mother's love is fierce. She would allow no harm to come to her cubs. Survival in the wilderness was a constant learning curve. The mother grizzly, a seasoned survivor, passed on her wisdom to her cubs. Every day was a lesson in finding food, in avoiding danger, in navigating their rugged domain. Fishing was a vital skill. The mother grizzly waded into the icy water, her thick fur providing insulation against the cold. Her cubs watched intently as she patiently waited for the salmon to leap. With a swift movement of her paw, she snatched a fish from the air. The cubs, eager to imitate, splashed clumsily in the shallows. Another day, the mother grizzly led her cubs to a towering pine. Standing on her hind legs, she raked her claws down the bark, leaving deep grooves. This was more than just sharpening her claws. It was a message to other bears, marking her territory, protecting her family. Summer faded into autumn. The days grew shorter, the nights colder. The leaves transformed into vibrant hues of gold and crimson before falling to the forest floor. Winter was coming, and with it, the need to prepare for the long hibernation. The mother grizzly led her cubs on a relentless quest for food. Every calorie counted. They feasted on berries, roots, and insects. They hunted ground squirrels and dug for grubs. Each bite was a step closer to survival. The salmon run was reaching its peak. The river churned with silvery bodies, desperate to spawn. The mother grizzly and her cubs fished tirelessly, their hunger insatiable. They needed to build up their fat reserves, to store energy for the lean months ahead. For the cubs, their very survival depended on this feast. As the first snows began to fall, a deep weariness settled over the mother grizzly. She had poured every ounce of her being into raising her cubs, protecting them, teaching them, ensuring their survival. The bond between them was unbreakable, a testament to the power of maternal love. The cubs, now larger and more independent, still sought comfort and reassurance from their mother. They would often snuggle close to her, their small bodies dwarfed by her massive frame. She would lick their fur, a gesture of love and protection. The mother grizzly watched her cubs with a mixture of pride and apprehension. They had grown so much, learned so much. But the wilderness was an unforgiving place. Would they be ready to face it on their own? Only time would tell. The time had come. The mother grizzly led her cubs to a secluded den hidden amongst the rocks. It was time for the long winter sleep, time to conserve energy, time to dream of spring. The cubs, exhausted but content, curled up beside their mother. The warmth of their bodies provided comfort in the cold darkness. The world outside faded away. The snow fell silently, blanketing the forest in white. The river froze over, its song silenced by the ice. The grizzly family slumbered, their breathing slow and deep. The world above could wait. For now, there was only the darkness and the silence, and the steady beat of their hearts. Hibernation was not without its risks. The cold was relentless. Predators lurked nearby, but the mother grizzly's instincts remained sharp. She would rouse from her sleep at the slightest sound, ready to defend her cubs. Sleep was a luxury she could ill afford. The seasons turned, spring returned, bringing with it the promise of new life. The grizzly family emerged from their den, blinking in the sunlight. The cubs, taller and stronger, were eager to explore their reawakened world. But the wilderness they returned to was subtly different. The effects of climate change were becoming increasingly apparent, even in this remote corner of the world. Winters were shorter, summers hotter. Familiar food sources were becoming harder to find. The delicate balance of nature was shifting. The mother grizzly observed these changes with a growing sense of unease. She had always adapted, always found a way to survive. But these new challenges were different. They threatened not only her own existence but the future of her cubs, the future of her kind. The sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm glow over the rushing river. The mother grizzly and her cubs stood at the water's edge, their reflections shimmering in the golden light. They had faced countless challenges, endured unimaginable hardships, yet they were still here, a testament to the enduring power of nature. The cubs, now almost fully grown, would soon be ready to embark on their own journeys. They would carry with them the lessons they had learned from their mother, the importance of strength, resilience, and unwavering love. They would become the guardians of their own legacies. The mother grizzly watched her cubs with a mixture of sadness and pride. Their time together was coming to an end. But she knew that their spirits, like the river itself, would flow on forever, wild and free, a timeless legacy etched in the heart of the wilderness.